Hi, Chef Raphael here. On this video, I'm going to show you how to make kimchi. Now, in my cuisine, this is not something we usually have. Before I did this video, I did some research. I even went to restaurants to taste it, but I found out this is the best recipe to show you who is a beginner. Now, this is the one, not the one that you'll actually have to ferment so that it's ready. This is the one that you actually make and eat immediately. I've served it with some rice. I also have a little bit of avocado. Let me taste. Perfect. The thing about it, you keep going back for more, and that's what makes it authentic or special, especially because I've used the Korean chili flakes, which is the main ingredient, especially to get this red color. The Gochugaru, I may get the pronunciation wrong. This video is all about introducing Korean cuisine, and I thought this is the perfect way to start you off. I hope you learned something new. Watch till the end and see how simple it is to make it. Let's get cooking. Again, this is a simplified kimchi recipe. It's actually called a gochugaru. Now, the name might be a little bit hard for me, but for those who don't know, it's actually a must-have side dish in any and all Korean food. So it's something that they really love. As I was doing research about Korean food and deciding to come up with this specific recipe, mine was, how do I make it in a way that anyone and everyone watching this video can make use of it and then see how simple it is. So the first thing you want to know when you're making kimchi is this is the type of cabbage that you need to have. Depending on which region you're coming from, you have a different name. Here in Kenya, we call it Chinese cabbage, but basically it's this type of cabbage. You've probably seen it in a supermarket. It's long. For this recipe, you can still use the normal cabbage, the one that we know, if you can't find this. First of all, kimchi is usually fermented, so it has an off taste. It's something that can be an acquired taste, especially if it's your first time to have it, because it's fermented. But this one, it's like a quick one. We're not fermenting it. So what you need to do is to remove the smaller pieces whole like this, and then the bigger ones, you can actually trim them like that. You want them long and bite-sized. Basically, you want them bite-sized. I can actually see some dirt inside, but it's fine. You're going to rinse it and wash it after the salting process. So there you have it. All leaves are done. So what you're going to do is to introduce the salt, the salting process. But before that, let me talk about the Korean red chili, which is actually a chili. They're actually chili flakes. Ground chilies that have been ground, but they are a little bit rough. So this is what gives it its color. If you can't get it, you can try with chili flakes, but each chili is different. The reason why this has to be this one is because there's the specific chilies that they use, and gives it its flavor. We have some water here, and then I'm going to add some salt. You can actually use regular salt. Sea salt is preferable, but even if you have regular salt, I've done it with regular salt and I felt it was okay. So this is about half a cup a third of a cup of salt in water, cold water. Just dissolve the water. This is about 3 cups of cold water. So I'll add the water to my bowl like that, and then you press it down. You don't want it to be fully covered like that. So we'll leave this for about an hour. Again, midway through, all you need to do is to do this. I'll actually do it right now just to show you. Just turn it like that, and then just leave it what will happen, the water will actually increase because the extraction of the water from the cabbage will make the water be slightly more than what I've actually put right now. So now the cabbage has cooked. Basically, it's become softer. Now, how you know it's ready is when you bend this, it bounces back. It doesn't break, basically. I'll show you with a fresh one. So this is a fresh one. So when you try and bend it, it will just snap like that. So the whole point about leaving it in salty water is to make it soft like this. So the idea now is to rinse this in cold running water about 3 times. So drain off this water and then put cold water, wash like this as I'm washing like this, and then drain and that for 3 times, and then let it set. Leave it in a colander, or basically something that will drain off the water, and let all the water drain off from the cabbage. So now I'm making the sauce for the kimchi. So what I'm doing here is this is about 5 cloves of garlic. Chop them as fine as possible. You can also grate it, but I want it to have a little bit of a crunch, so that's why I'm chopping it. So the garlic, and then the chili flakes. They actually call Gochugaru. Again, I may pronounce it wrongly. So this is about 6 tablespoons. So to that I will add a little bit of the soy sauce. Now this is the Korean soy sauce. This is a little bit lighter in color. It's salty. It's not like the Japanese or the Chinese soy sauce, which is a little bit dark. I don't want this to be dark, so actually that's why I went for this. And then to this I'm going to add a little bit of fish sauce, so about a tablespoon of fish sauce. For the recipe that I was using, it asks for the plum extract, which is another Korean one, but they didn't have it, so the alternative is to use apricot jam. So it's about, and this is just for the sweetness. This sauce is, this mixture is about, it also has some sweetness to it, so that will add to that. So apricot jam, I know it's something that you can find. So this is ready. Another thing I didn't mention earlier is the spring onions. So you need the spring onion that will mix together with the cabbage. It will add some color, it will also add some flavor, and ideally the thinner the spring onion, the better. Don't find the big ones or the thick ones. So now the paste. Now I've added a little bit of water, but what matters is to make it a little bit easier to mix. So how much you add is dependent on how much cabbage is there. Now there's a reason why this is the preferred cabbage, because it has a nice sweet flavor. Let me taste. It has a sweetness that the other normal cabbage doesn't have, but again you can still use that cabbage, and then it's not salty. Remember, when we rinsed it, even it removed all the excess saltiness, so it should not be salty. You should get the flavor from the paste that we have made. I'm just going to mix. Again, it's about the chili paste that we use, the Korean one. The color is the most important thing, that red color for kimchi. So how much you add also depends on how much chili you want. So the quantity, I feel it's enough. This is the way it should look like. I'm trying to make sure there's no lumps of the chili. It goes very well with some white rice. Let me taste right now. Now the flavor is perfect. Saltiness is exactly what I want. Is it chili? Yes, it's a little bit chili when you swallow it. So because of the cabbage and the fact that the cabbage has some moisture to it, it kind of dilutes the chilliness in the paste. Let me take a bigger one together with the onion. All that is left is to put it in a clean bowl, and then it will keep in the fridge, and then I'll show you how it looks when you serve it with a little bit of rice and maybe some meat on the side. So that's the quick kimchi recipe, kachari. As I was plating it, I kept tasting, and the more you keep wanting more and more and more. It's quite a process, But then again, when it comes to such food, is the more you keep doing it, the easier it gets. And this is a good introduction to this taste. When you're having it with chopsticks, I'm going to put it in the fridge, and just one final taste again. That chili powder, that's perfect. It makes all the difference in terms of flavor. It's not too spicy. The crunchy of the cabbage. Hope you've learned something new. Let me know when you give it a try, and I'm sure somebody has actually made this kind of a recipe, or the actual kimchi. Let me know in the comment section how you think of this particular one, and I'm challenging you to make it. And again, this is about creating awareness about Korean food. In the month of October 2023, on the 13th, we will have the K-Food Fair. So come one, come all. It will be from 2 o'clock till around 6, whereby we'll have Korean chefs coming over and cooking different meals that you can come and sample. Most importantly, it's all about learning about K-food. This is a K-Food Fair, Korean cuisine, and hope to see you then.